Now, the rest of the schedule, Bailey, bring up the rest of that schedule. We're not going to go over every game, but there are a couple that if we were in that room and Gary was up there and we were red lettering, I think there's 4 red letter games on this schedule. And you know, look, Nebraska and Colorado State are 2 of them. Kansas State and Utah are the other 2. And 2 of them are on the road and non-conference. And I think they're more for the fan base because you can lose those 2 games and still go to the playoff. And Kansas State and Utah are home. And, you know, you're reviving a rivalry with Kansas State that you and I know very, very well. And that Utah rivalry we never played in, but we need to pick up our end of the bargain on the Utah rivalry so it becomes one. So how do you feel about those 4?
Yeah, so mine would be a little bit different. I just have
well,
I would have a little different. You know, red letter and what I would consider to be vital are 2 different things.
Okay.
You know, and like red letter was sentiment and it was chemistry and like, you know, you got to have targets out there. So that's why you would like red letter Nebraska. And I understand that. But to me, I've got 4 games that are all on the road that to me, I think that they have to win. And you got to channel your inner TCU from last year. You got to do something to say like, listen, we're going to take care of our home field. All right. So Utah is not going to be on this. To me, it's at Nebraska. It is at Colorado State. It's at Arizona and it's at Kansas.
Yep.
That
Kansas game's an Arrowhead too.
That Kansas game is, I think, going to be tougher than most people think. And those are the games that it's just like, you have to win. You have to win those games. Because if you lose one of those, the implications in some of the others are that you're not close to the top. You see, if you're going to compete at the top with Kansas State, Oklahoma State, and Utah, because that's who I think is like kind of, if I were to say, who's the class of the Big 12? Well, I picked Utah, and then Kansas State and Oklahoma State are kind of right there. They're veteran. They're tough. I love their identity. I love their coaches. So if you're going to play in those games, well, guess what you have to do in the others? Win. Like you can't just get yourself up for those big games or else all you are a spoiler. You're a mid-tier spoiler at that point. So you've got to take care of business in those other games. All those other ones happen to be on the road. You've got to go out there and really build an identity and a chemistry and a mindset that can go win those games. That's what I thought. Let's go back in history. You know what was really special about that 0-2 team? We won on the road. Tyler Brayton drew that line.
Oh, yeah. The line in the sand, UCLA.
The line in the sand in the UCLA at the Rose Bowl. We went out there and like we beat UCLA. And it's like, you've got to have some of that dog in you to go win on the road. And so those are the 4 games that I'm looking at.
He's getting me ready to go over here, man. Shit, I got goosebumps